Haircut. Pei Kung put down his newspaper as he heard the bells jingle on the door. His barber shop in downtown Los Angeles had been quiet for the first hour of the morning, and at 7 o'clock sharp his first customer had walked through the door. "Good morning, Charlie," Pei greeted with a slight bow. "Good morning, pal," Charlie Jones greeted back. "My name not Pal, my name Pei Kung. You'd think after coming here for the last 40 years I'd have figured out how to pronounce that name by now, wouldn't you?" Charlie took a seat and allowed Pei to drape a smock over his large frame. "You don't even make attempt at pronouncing my name. You always call me Pal. My name not hard to pronounce. Pei. It very simple, in fact." "Well, I could think of a million things worse to call you," Charlie said as he adjusted himself in the seat to get more comfortable. "You could at least try and pronounce my name, you know," Pei snapped back as he tousled the thinning gray hair on Charlie's head. "How you want this mess cut today?" "After 40 years you'd think you'd have figured out how I like my hair cut. Every Thursday, pal. Can you believe it? I've been coming here every Thursday for that long." "No," Pei said flatly. "No matter how hard I try, you keep coming back. You are like large dog who does not go away. I keep expecting to see you sit up and beg for food." "When you get the best, it's hard to go somewhere else." "How you know I give best haircut if you don't go nowhere else?" "This only place you come for haircut." "I know, pal. I just know." Charlie laid his head back and closed his eyes. Pei sighed as he got a handful of shaving cream. "You are going to get good shave today." "Why do you say that, pal?" "Because I have new straight razor." "But you've had the same one for years now," Charlie stated as he opened his eyes and watched Pei's face. "I buy last night, special for today." Pei tilted Charlie's head back and slathered the shaving cream on his neck. "You do like me. After all these years of pretending you don't like me, you really do." "Don't you go getting no ideas about me liking you. I be charging you more today for special blade," said Pei, as he shook his foam-covered finger accusingly at Charlie. "Oh, come on now, pal. You know I'm your favorite customer," Charlie said smugly. "You very trusting of man with straight razor at your throat." "I wouldn't trust anyone else." Charlie's jowls shook as he laughed heartily. "You stop laughing or I might cut you." Pei sharpened the razor on a leather strap that hung on the side of the chair. "This razor very sharp. You sit very still today, and shut up. When you talk, you face move too much." "I told you care." "I no care. I just not want to clean up blood off nice clean floor. Now shut up and sit still." The smile on Charlie's face tightened the skin so the new straight razor could do its work. Pei pulled the excess skin on Charlie's chin taut and shaved every inch with extreme care. When he was done, he took up the towel and wiped the excess shaving cream off. Charlie rubbed his chin. "Very nice job today, pal." "Of course it's nice job. I always do nice job," Pei said as if he were offended. "But this is better than usual. You should have gotten a new blade sooner. Not even a nick. And hey, did you shave my ears too? I didn't even feel that." "You so fat on your head, I am surprised you feel anything," Pei said, putting the razor down and picking up a spray bottle. "I like my big head." "I should charge you extra for your big fat head." While Pei sprayed water on Charlie's gray hair and combed it back, Charlie said, "Your prices have gone up enough over the years. I remember my first haircut 40 years ago. 50 cents, and the shave was included." "And after all these years, you keep coming back. I don't know why," Pei said with a frown. "You and that big fat head. Some days you scare me and I think you get stuck in my door." Pei started to set the water bottle down and picked up his scissors. "But I've always made it in. It's just too bad this is my last haircut." As Pei started cutting, he said, "You no know that." "Come on, Pei. Did you watch the news last night?" "I no watch TV. I read paper." "So you don't know what was reported?" "I say I read paper. I up at 4 in the morning and buy paper each day. I need be here for people like you who come in at 7. I read paper. I see what they say." "So do you think it'll happen? Do you really think they're here to, what did they say? Eradicate. That's the word they're using, eradicate us." "People say they want to use planet for building new ships, and the people in way." "Think of that. They came down here and everyone got all excited about our first encounter with aliens. Then this giant alien robot comes down from the ship, It just stands there for a week, then announces that we'll be eradicated in the name of progress. Intergalactic fleet need more material, and they pick our planet. It made sense when they said it, you know, pal. How the intergalactic fleet is looking for resources, and our planet, being so primitive and all, that they were just going to take it for their own uses. At least they take all young people to help fight. They won't get stuck here when the demolition crew arrives. What was it the news was saying last night? That they were already gone? It's just old fogies like us left down here. Even the newscaster looked old and worn out. I think the makeup person is already gone. What could be makeup person now? Could you imagine if you and I were young now, off to space in the intergalactic fleet, flying off to unknown places, getting out of our own solar system? Wow, those boys are off on an adventure we've only dreamed of. Remember all the old black and white space movies? I always dreamed of going to space. I think that's why I joined the Navy. You were so fat they'd have to leave you here, or they not get off ground, Pei said, laughing at his own joke. I was much thinner when I was younger. You come here for 40 years, and you fat as long as I know you. Pei was turning red, he was laughing so hard. I'll have you know, that was mostly muscle. I was very fit. Stomach muscle? Pei was nearly double over laughing as he set down the scissors. Laugh all you want, hair boy. Laugh all you want. At least I've been out there and seen the world when I was in the Navy. You sat here cutting hair, saying you'll get to it when you retire. I get the last laugh now. Pei stopped laughing and patted Charlie on the shoulder. You are right. You are right. He picked up a hand mirror from the shelf and handed it to Charlie. Charlie looked at his hair in the mirror. Perfect as always, Pei. What? Pei gasped in mock shock. I said it looks great, pal. That not what you say? I know. They both smiled at each other. After a short pause in the conversation, Pei removed the smock and let Charlie up. Charlie got out his wallet. How much I owe you today? I think this one on house today. Nonsense. How much? Before Charlie could insist much further, the sound of the air raid siren sounded. Charlie had been fishing money out of his wallet and dropped it on the floor. Turn the radio on, he said, but Pei was one step ahead of the big man. I think you're right. I think it's time. Pei turned the knob on the old radio, and the voice of an aging radio personality came on. And now that the evacuation of all persons under the age of 40 has been complete, it appears that the giant robot is preparing to do something. I'm looking out the window of our broadcast studio here in New York. The announcer was being broadcast around the country on all syndicated stations. It's raising its arms now, holding them out to its sides. The eyes are lighting up. It's bright, white light. It's getting brighter. Something on the arms is unfolding now. Pei and Charlie put their arms around each other and huddled closer to the radio. The arms have multiple projections on them, like 1,000 spikes jutting out, the announcer continued to report. The light is leaping out of the eyes like lightning and flashing and sparking on the spikes on the robot's arms. The light is changing to blue now. The announcer's voice was strained and emotional. Static began to make it more difficult to make out what he was saying. I can just make out, and it looks like it's something stuck. A bright flash of light. The radio went dead. Pei and Charlie both stood and hugged each other. Shall we head outside and wait? Charlie asked. I think that's best. We'll change nothing for inside or not. Hey, what happened to your accent? I was born here in the States. I've never even been to China. It just gets people like you to tip better. You hair jockey, you. I'll bet your name isn't even Pei, is it? Charlie held the door open for Pei. Oh, it's Pei all right. My parents wanted me to have a traditional name. I can do the accent because of them. Outside, the sun was just starting to warm the downtown street. At first they could hear a low rumble, much like a common earthquake, but it soon grew louder. After a few minutes of quiet between them, the two turned to face New York. The sky was a brilliant red from the morning sun. In the far distance, just over the mountains, they could see a black cloud rising fast. It was spreading across the land, destroying everything in its path. It was a pleasure to know you, Pei. No, it hasn't, you fat slob. Charlie put his arm around Pei and pulled him close. Goodbye, Pei.